But you already know, Robbie finally got you in the building. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Listen, I know you got some projects going. People are really like waiting to see what you're gonna do, because you know I don't want to say it like this, but you know I'm sure you had people call you Eminem and Vanilla Ice and all of that, because you know you like the white boy that raps, but you hold it down though.
For sure.
And I like your energy and everything.
Thank you.
So you know, Robbie, let's get into it. Let's tell the people what you got going on.
It's working. A lot of work. A lot of I was telling you before, like a lot of figuring myself out. A lot of I've been doing music for a while. I've been in the Jersey scene for probably like 7-8 years. I was in a group Airplay for a long time. that we killed that like 5 years ago. So it's been a while, but while I'm doing the solo thing, and it's a lot of figuring myself out. I ran around and did a lot of that hip hop. Very very hip hop rap. I came up rapping.
Okay.
So a lot of the stuff, and my influences is very rap. You know, I'm a huge, like you said, I'm a huge Eminem fan. I'm a huge fan of hip hop in general. That's the music I generally listen to. But as I started like being involved with music and doing music and being around the culture and people and seeing things, I realized I had to really be myself all the way through where I come from to the, you know, what I like outside of just the music. There's a lot. So last year has been a lot of figuring out, a lot of making music, finding my sound.
Right.
I'm working on an EP right now. I have an arsenal of records. I cannot wait for people to hear. It's a new wave, new sound, new me.
That seems exciting. Sound like it's gonna be dope.
It's been exciting for like a year because I know what's gonna come. You know what I mean? I've really been looking forward to the time of dropping material and new stuff and just a new wave and something different. I kind of want to turn heads like, wait, what did he just do? You know?
So let me ask you this. How old were you when you started, you know, liking hip hop or, you know, getting into the whole hip hop thing?
I was young. I remember telling my mom. I mean, I liked. I used to really like DMX a lot.
Oh, okay. So you liked, because my next question was gonna be like, did Eminem make you feel comfortable rapping and accepted, like, you know, in the hip hop culture, being that is like predominantly black or whatever the case may be? But for you to like DMX, that's a big influence.
You know what it is?
Right,
I've realized I like really good music, and I think that the culture itself is something I was very drawn into. Just watching, like I said, I'm in the burbs, but I think it was really cool to watch, like the DMXs and the Jay-Z's. There was like an allure to it. You know what I mean?
So you grew up in
the
Bergen, right?
Bergen County, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your first experience in the hood.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
First time in the hood.
So I remember. It actually kind of started when I was at Montclair State. That was my first time really being around the culture, like the urban culture. I never really experienced it like that. I'm not going to say we didn't have, you know, diversity at my high school, but it was predominantly white, you know. But I went to Montclair State. I wanted to meet my buddy Elijah, and he brought me to his studio, the Booger Basement. I've been there ever since. I've been there with my man, Mr. Wonder. Shout out to Mr. Wonder.
Okay.
And my first, it's not like it was unnatural or it was uncomfortable. It's just you're on guard. You know, you're kind of like,
it's a different environment.
Oh, for sure. I mean, where I come from, you're told so much. You're without experiencing it. Without experiencing it. So you got like people telling you, oh, well, you got to watch, or you know, you see things on TV, or you don't really get a hit of it until you see it for yourself.
Right.
So when you first see it, you just kind of watch, you kind of see everything. And with the most beautiful thing about it is like perception. For me, perception was killed. Like I know what goes down. I know things go down. I'm not gonna say they don't go down, but if you're gonna judge and go into that without understanding the people or where they come from or why,
exactly,
I think you're bugging.
Right.
You're completely bugging. And I think that's something that society as a whole needs to eliminate. Both ways.
That's well said.
You know, both ways. But I think it's different because I don't think there's that same kind. I don't think that where I come from understands the same struggle. Not to say there aren't struggles. There's tons of them.
Right.
For everybody. But it's a different struggle. And like I was saying, you know, we were talking earlier, and the family aspect is insane to me. Like, how close, how tight knit it is, how like little things don't matter.
Right.
In the hood, to me, the same way. Just from my own personal experience, it was a breath of fresh air to see how tight a family can be, how tight people can be. because I think a lot of it is it's competitive where I'm from, because everybody has a little bit of something, so you try to edge out the next. Definitely. As opposed to doing your thing, figuring a way out for you, for your family, for your, like, what you feel, what you want. You know, I think it's different. It's a beautiful thing for me, experience.
And now, see, you want to know what's so funny? Now, being a product of the environment, like growing up in the hood and actually getting a taste of how it is to struggle, whatever, in the black culture, family, and all of that. Believe it or not, I mean, on the outside looking in, it may seem like you would think that because we're all struggling and we're struggling through finances, the city is poor, you know, we really don't have much. You would think that that would make us tighter. But to be honest with you, it's like it's the people still rival. They still want to kill each other. They still want to beef over nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So on the outside looking in, it may seem like, oh, these people are so tight with one another, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because when it comes to outsiders coming in here, we definitely come together and try to shut everybody else out, you know. But within the community, it's way deeper. You know than what you think.
I can't agree more. And I didn't mean to, like, you know, put it out there like it's not.
No, that's how it should be. Yeah, that's how it should be.
It's like this. I grow up, when you get thrown into a town, when you're in a town, it's your mother and your father, wherever they wind up with you. That's where you are. It's not your choice. It's not anything you have. So when you're going, for 18 years, 20 years almost, like it was not, it was simple. It was easy for me because it was all I knew, and it was easy. There wasn't anything beyond just what you were thrown into. And I have a great group of friends from high school. I had no problem with girls. It was fun across the board. But you look down the line years later, what was it? It wasn't. It was an experience more so than it was what I love. Where you can say it's my roots, but it's not. It's not. Like when I went to the basement and started really recording music for the first time. We went to the Booger Basement, right? It wasn't about, I didn't know the hood. I knew this group of people accepted me.
Right. So that was
not the sports, not because I was thrown into a mix, not because I was one of the coolest in my school. I had a good person. Only for myself.
Right.
And I wasn't bigged up. It was refreshing to have to, like, work for trust and earn trust and have that trust off of actually doing things to earn it.
Right.
Not blah, this is your life, you know?
So that's what makes your music a little different, because you can kind of speak on both behalves. In that video, Long Day, that was amazing because it's a Caucasian family, and you still talked about how you guys have struggle as well, because you know you get some people that feel like, oh, you're white, you don't have any issues, your finances are good, you live in a good neighborhood, and it's problems wherever you go, regardless to what your nationality is, how you look, people still have issues. And that visual was really dope. The song is dope itself. You know, I appreciated that because it gives you a different outlook on culture, period. Like, regardless to what your skin color is, regardless to who you are. It shows that we all have issues. It's
so true.
That was dope to me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's love, for real. It's one of my favorite records too. Go get that too. Go see that. Long Day. It's on Vivo. RobbieMaxx Vivo.
Yeah, that was actually a good one. I'm very big on visual.
Yeah, you're saying.
And you brought that to life.
The new visual. I'm telling you, gotta wait till people just dropped it. You gotta check it. Like, really, you might have heard the record, but I want you to the visual. You gotta feel the visual. It's crazy. It's I shot a new video. I'll show you. It's out now. RobbieMaxx.com. Go to RobbieMaxx.com. It's right in your face. Right there. You click play.
And you know what though, Robbie? The first time I saw you in the mix, you know, we bumped heads a few times at, like, you know, events dealing with music or whatever the case. Just being in the mix, and I'm not gonna lie. The first thing that came to mind was, okay, it's obvious that this guy is a rapper, right? Because he's in the mix. I know he does something, but what is it? What is he actually talking about? And when I took the time out to get into it, I kind of enjoyed it. And not for nothing, your energy and everything is so dope. And it doesn't seem like you're trying to be down. You get what I'm saying? Like
I did for a long time.
When I first started coming around you, I didn't get that from you.
That's beautiful. I mean, it's been a few years.
It's been a few years.
It took me a while. Mm-hmm. It definitely took me a while.
See, you probably would have annoyed me then. Trying to be down. You know,
I'll be honest. I never tried to the point where I was like, yo, or like, you know, my hat was like, I didn't do that. Like, but there was. To be accepted to something, and mind you, we were talking earlier, like the whole hip hop thing. I really was drawn to the culture, so to be a part of it in any way, coming from where I come from, was like the dopest thing ever.
Okay.
You feel me? So I wanted to be a part, more or less. Now it's not a matter of who or what. It's like I'm good as far as friendships and relationships, and I'll find more people and more friends and all that stuff along the way, but I need to hone in with like myself, who I am, and do that for a second, you know. And I guess now the new music is really going to be driven in the direction where you're going to get who I am as a person, as a sound. Everything is about to all kind of happen.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You know, they just had the Grammys last week, and Kendrick Lamar, he made controversy. I mean, like, you got a lot of people that was for what he did, and you also had a lot of people that was against it. They felt like he was trying to take it a whole nother route. Even with Beyonce performing her new song at the Super Bowl, you know, it caused like an outrage to the point where people were signing petitions to ban her from the NFL stadium. How do you feel about that? Like,
I think it's ridiculous. I think that the art is such an expression of yourself. I don't care how you go about it. As long as you back up what you're putting out there, as long as you back up, if you're going to be controversial, you better be controversial following up and stand by what you stand by. And I will respect that all the way through. So there's nothing about it that threw me off, bothered me. I didn't think anything of the Beyonce thing until they brought it up. I didn't think anything of it, honestly. The Kendrick thing was right smack in your face, like what it was.
How did you feel about that,
I loved it. I'm a Kendrick fan. And I'm a Kendrick fan because he's if it was like another artist doing it for to draw controversy,
just to do it.
Kendrick. The whole album is what that is.
Exactly.
So it made sense. And I think it's something good with everything going on, you know, race-wise. I think it's a beautiful thing for it to be expressed on a major platform for a committee of all older white gentlemen and women. They need to see, the world needs to see it. I think it's right. I don't think there's much behind it. I don't think it's a big deal. I think that they create things. I think there's so much going on in this world that people need to know about that should be blasted and thrown in your face, and they don't. So for me to listen to this be an issue, I don't care.
Right.
There's big things going on in the world right now, like big things going on in the world. We're going to talk about Kendrick and Beyonce's performance. It's what the world is, though. It's media, and it is what it is. I'm happy. I make music.
So did you do enjoy his message, though? You do enjoy what he's trying to...
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Okay.
I don't have a problem with people at all. I don't care your race, your color. That's never been an issue to me. If you have a problem with me, I will just I don't need to be your friend. I don't care. I like to just be around good vibes, good people by any means necessary. I understand how real the situation is.
Right.
Just in general. I'd be lying if I said that there isn't some what's the word I'm looking for? Some like to a degree everything isn't against the black culture. There's a lot against the black culture.
Right.
There's no doubt. I think on both sides it's overreacted to a degree. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be expressed that it's very real.
It is.
It's very real. You know what I'm saying? And you can't sit and act like there isn't poverty in places that there's nothing going on. Like, it's a war zone.
It is.
It's a freaking war zone. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
And where's the help? Where's the wood or the flint? Where's the things that matter? Where are we talking about Beyonce and Kendrick's thing? They're trying to express what we're talking about as a whole.
Right.
In their own way. It's whatever. I don't,
because they know what's going on, and being that they have a platform to where so many people are actually paying attention to them, I feel like it's amazing that they find. Well, I'm not gonna say finally, because Kendrick, he's been trying to send that message, but being that it's getting worse now, is like the Grammys was like,
yeah, to do it at the Grammys. Oh man,
that was like, all right, here it is.
It reminded me of something that, and coincidentally, I don't know if you remember, Michael did a performance where it was kind of
a while
like
ago, right? It was very basically the same.
It reminded me.
Shackles,
it reminded me power wise and how of Michael, what he would have done on that stage.
He's been trying for a while as well.
I think that it's one of them things that it has to come. Let's just, like, it's simple for me to say, but I don't see it. Let's just come together.
Right.
Like, I don't have problems with anybody, so it's hard. I don't relate in a sense of personal relationships and experiences. I see it, but I don't personally act like that, nor am I not, brushed aside.
But growing up now that I'm an adult, it's a few things that I understand. I understand that some behaviors are actually taught. Like, you are how can I say it? Like, the way that I was raised to respect individuals, period, regardless to who they were. Likewise. It was never
shout out to our parents. Shout out to our parents.
Exactly. Because a lot of things come from the home. You got some people who has parents, they can have both parents in the house, but neither one of them take the time out to actually show them the way, or teach them respect, or whatever the case may be. So it's like kids pick up on what they see, and they go off of what they know, and grasp from what they see in household.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how they see their parents treat other individuals. Oh, okay, so this guy is this color, and my dad or my mom acts a certain type of way towards this particular color. Maybe I have to act the same way. Like you say, you weren't raised like that.
No, not at all. I mean, my mother and my father
would have cool.
Yeah, I played sports as well, so I did have like sense of diversity. Like I said, it wasn't like it was all white. You know what I mean? Some of my best friends are black from high school. So my mother and my father were the type to see, like, I have one friend in particular who, he got bad rap growing up. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. But hands, fights,
there's trouble
to the public eye.
Okay.
Why do you? There's a reason why he's who he is, and why. Where's the help? So my mother and my father were the type, they pull him in and you stay by us for the day, stay by us for the night.
Wow.
Eat, come over for Thanksgiving. We've made him cry. Wow. And those are like little things that I get chills thinking about it now, because
that matter.
What he to this day is so grateful of what doesn't matter anymore realistically, but really does matter to him, because it's the respect level is different than just being a friend and like throwing you some bread. No, I'm talking when you were down and out.
Right.
We were there
to bring you in and
because I love you, bro. I love you. Right. Like, I don't care about the other things.
And you rarely get that. You rarely get that.
And I know there were families, and I know there were kids that would probably be like, "Well, what is he doing?" Or like that, because that's what it is. But I'm very thankful I was brought up the way I was brought up.
Right. Shout out to your parents. That's real. Big, man.
And there's other avenues, like, for instance, like, the business side and like paying for college and setting your life up on money and all these. That I wasn't taught. I figured that out on my own, though. I'm happy to have, like, this right here is so much more important. That's going to carry me. The respect for people is such an important thing. Like,
I would choose being taught how to respect individuals over how to, deal with finances any day. Now, finances is very important.
For sure.
But it's like, how can you get to the finances if you don't know how to treat people?
Yeah.
Because you got to deal with people to make money, regardless to what it is. Even if you own your own business, you still have to learn how to deal with people. If you don't know how to deal with people, how are you going to make money? No one's going to want to deal with you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something that a lot of families lack. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got some families that spoil their kids to the T. They kind of handicap them and they don't know how to make it on their own. And then on the other hand, you have some that just don't teach them anything. Like,
it's like a free for all.
It's just like whatever.
The funny, I think our generation is so vital to.
Oh no, this generation right now is horrible.
The young cat.
This generation, no, not ours. I'm talking about the ones coming up under us.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh my goodness, you can't even talk to them.
No, but the crazy part is if you like reflect to the parents. If you go to the parents and who the parents are of the kids now, I think that time of them growing up, they didn't. Everybody struggles, but I'm saying, I believe the 90s and early 2000s, there wasn't too much. You weren't too caught up in a lot the same way you are now with the media, with everything involved.
Right,
so I think parents didn't have the whereabouts or the wits to, in a sense, train your kids for what the hell is going on.
You know, no one's really sitting around the table and eating dinner and actually conversing anymore and talking about what's happening because technology has taken over. You know, you got kids eating in front of the TV, taking their food in the room, and it's no type of
tradition,
nothing.
Structure.
It's just not the same. And not for nothing, you got a lot of babies raising babies.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean?
You know what though? Like I think that we're finally becoming aware of how wrong everything is. Mm-hmm. So I said, like, you know, my age, because I'm pre-cell phone / cell phone. Mm-hmm. You feel? I remember not having a cell phone,
right,
and having to walk to a family's house or call on the house phone and be like Mr. or Mrs.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think our generation is very vital to the future because we have a hit of it all, and we can completely raise our kids in the right way. Do I think it's gonna happen like that? No. Do I think a lot of us can come together and do
Make it happen?
what's involved in our lives? Yes, and do it. Like, do it by any means necessary.
But you know what though? It's so people have so much personal things going on, so many personal situations going on that I feel like the kids that's actually growing up, they suffer because they're not getting the attention that they should have.
Or is it the attention that they think they should have?
You know, that's true too.
Because there's so, and I agree. I don't think they're getting the attention. No. I do, but I think a lot of these kids think they know because you can learn like that, but you won't learn without experience. Okay. Period.
True, definitely true. But you know what? You want to know what's so crazy? Social media. It's so easy to become famous over social media, regardless to what it is you're doing. If you decide that you want to go run out in the street and play in traffic and take your clothes off and get 1 million hits, that's like the most attention that you ever received in your life. Is like, I'm gonna continue on to do this. I'm gonna continue to be a jerk.
Yeah.
Because this is what's making me famous, and it's crazy. It's even the kids fighting these teachers, like what? It's going viral. Like how are we promoting this? How are we sharing this as if it's okay? That's crazy to me. Like if I even thought about raising my hands to a teacher when I was in high school,
what?
I wouldn't have no hands to raise after that.
What your mother and father would do.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I wouldn't have had any. My mom would have been so upset with me. I probably would have been on punishment indefinitely.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two is like, what? Like, how are you really recording this and then sharing it as if it's okay? Like,
that's scary. Today's
teachers can't even properly teach because these kids are so mannish and rude. Is like, you give up. It's like, whatever
you're supposed to do, and it's not your kids. You can't do anything. Man. You can't beast yell.
So sad.
It's hard. It's a very funny time right now.
It is, and I remember time right now. Back in 8th grade, we had to write an essay on what did we think the future would be in about 10 years. And after everyone wrote their essay, the teacher, I'll never forget him, Mr. Kenyon, he was like, just want to let you guys know that it's going to be totally different by the time you guys become adults. The generation after you guys are going to be, it's going to be so crazy because pretty soon folks are going to be able to curse on TV. Folks are going to be able to say whatever they want to say on the radios. It's going to be, the censorship is going to be dead. Social media is going to be at an all-time high, and he never lied. Like, it's all happening.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
You're losing identity. Like, we wake up in the morning. What's the first thing we do when we wake up in the morning?
Grab our phones.
Like, yo, I do it. I get it. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I'm like mad at myself.
That is like that.
You know what though? At the same time, I think that it plays a part. Like when I become what I set out to become, when my vision comes to fruition, and what I've imagined, and I have maybe different finance, I'm set up right, and I've earned it, and all the. Maybe I won't wake up like that.
Right.
I think I'm stretching for an opportunity to a degree because I want out. I want out of all this. I want none of this. I want to be in the woods in a crib with no Wi-Fi. And
I just want to be able to make a difference.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm so big on the youth that it's not even funny, because what people have to realize is the youth is what makes the future. Like they are the future. They take care of. These are the people that we're gonna have to deal with when we become a certain age. You know, they become adults after a while. So it's like if it's ignorance on top of ignorance, the world is going to continue to be the same way. But it takes for people in their prime that's still tender but know enough to actually change what's happening.
You gotta try.
I feel that's all I want. I just want a platform. Even with this right here, with the radio station, I want to start going to these schools and letting these kids know, like, it's bigger than what you see on social media and lifestyles you think is cool or whatever the case may be.
Let's come together.
Let's with it.
If you want to do some things, I'm into my company's belief times believe. My whole message is believing in yourself.
I'm with it. See, you have a perfect platform. You're a rapper. You can send messages.
You know what? If you want to do stuff like that, like I've gone to my high school and
really
talk to the administration about getting in there and talking to the kids in an assembly format, and you can't really, because you have to run through. Maybe in other towns, I don't know, but you have to run through this person, that person, and if they go and refer to everything that you have online, and if there's anything that they don't want the kids, because they don't know you unless you're big,
right?
Or if you have like a website that shows what you do and it's whatever, but they're really open to it at the same time. It's just getting through the administration aspect of it. But I want to come up with, like, we'll talk. I mean, I would love to come together, do things even outside of the school, hand out flyers or something. Come meet us at the community center.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Let's get together.
If you're going through things, come meet me at the community center.
Let's talk. Let's figure out what you like to do. You know, I mean, I remember back in the day, I was into Teen Summit. I miss Teen Summit. I want to bring it back. Shout out to Miss Eason. She's a officer from the town that put Teen Summit together for the youth.
Shout out Miss Eason.
And that actually made me have like aspirations on what I wanted to do. I thought I was going to be a dancer.
Okay.
I was going to be a background. Yeah, I could dance.
Oh, right.
Listen. I'm retired. But see, I had something to look forward to, though.
Yeah.
You know, she used to bring celebrities through, and we used to have this big event, and it was something to look forward to. Yeah. You know, it was something to do. We used to have practice 3 days out of the week. I had somewhere to be. It wasn't no cell phones and all of that stuff. It was just like, I'm going to practice. We're going to know this routine. We're going to do our thing. These kids don't have that. I want to bring it back so bad. So if you're listening right now, you got some outlets to where we can get together, get these kids together, you know, hit me up at DJ Paedae 91.7 FM. Hit up RobbieMaxx. You know, we trying to do this for the youth. Robbie, like I said, you got the platform with your music. You make these dope visuals, bring it to life. And let's just try to get things back on track.
On track.
For real.
Some way. Even if it's starts small, it's just... I want to create a vibe around myself, very importantly, first, to create that good vibe feel, eliminate any outside tension, stress. I know it's impossible, but you can ignore what's not around you.
Right.
You know what I mean? What's next to you is there. I want to make sure whatever around me just feels good, feels positive. You know, I don't want that. I don't want to feel negative anymore. I don't want to, like, hate the world and...
Right.
I don't hate the world, but I go through
what's happening in the world.
I want to just I'm sure everybody wants to say their piece, but I think it's so simple. It's much more simple than we're giving it credit for. It's in your face what's wrong.
Right.
I said this is my before we leave, this is my biggest piece of advice I say to people, and this is real. When you lay your head down at the end of the night, before you go to sleep, your head on the pillow, you literally run through what you want, are, what you like, who you like, everything. You run through it. For a second, stay true to that. Just for a second. Like for a second. Don't wake up and go back. Don't wake up and go do the next thing. For a second, like hone in on who you are, what you're thinking at night, the things you tell yourself you want to do. Do it because you're telling yourself.
Right.
Don't go and think it and the next day somebody's coming and their thoughts throw your thoughts off.
Okay.
You're bugging.
That's big.
And I think the time eventually goes. Right. And then you can't get time back. It's the only thing you can't get back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a great way to actually think about things. And
be
go
selfish
about
for a second. Not selfish in the sense you don't do things with people, but be selfish in a second, because I think people aren't. Even if they run around and this and all that, you can say that they're self-centered. I don't think they know who they are.
Right.
I don't think they even... I think they might be funny. They might be hilarious. They might be a great artist. They might be a great actor. They might be this. They might be that. But...
personally...
do they lay their head home at night happy?
Right.
And I think that's the most important thing, regardless of everything else.
True.
Everything else will fall into place.
That's a big piece of that's a big piece of advice right there.
We're gonna help people find themselves.
I like
that's
that.
what we're gonna do.
I like that, but I really appreciate you coming out, Robbie. I feel like what we talked about today needed to be talked about.
Agreed. We come from two different backgrounds. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's dope, and I learned a lot about you today. And shout out to your parents, man.
Yeah.
You got me wanting to meet them now.
Bobby and Kathy, I love you, and my sister Jade.
That's dope. You know, you really get people that care about others like that.
Yeah.
You know, they see trouble and they run away from it, but for them to see trouble and want to know what's going on, and possibly change what's happening just off of caring is dope.
Simple.
So I appreciate them for that.
Yeah,
you know,
for
it's
sure.
like they saved a life, you know?
Yeah, no, true.
So, thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming down to Gems Radio.
Thank you for having me.
Gems Radio!